Drew Holiday, 39.5. Oof.
All right, I just got him in too. Let's go.
Good man. That was a rush.
It sucks. I need to hedge too because this morning I took Holiday over 2.5 threes on No House Advantage.
Did you?
I mean, it's still doable.
I mean, that's still
it's not like
that's doable.
Yeah. Plus, it was
There's
minus
other things.
125 everywhere else. So, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't take it now, but
yes, that is correct.
I have a word for that, Mike. Yo, what's going on? Eric, retweet that link too if you didn't see that yet.
I got it right now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the No House Advantage Strategy Show, presented by No House Advantage, oddly enough. I'm Dave Loughran at Laffy_D, joined by Eric Lindquist. It's not often I get to do shows with him, so I'm excited about it. We may only have 30 minutes, but I need to stress this right now, Eric. Giannis Antetokounmpo just got upgraded to questionable. When you go doubtful to questionable, the likelihood is that you're going to play. When you go probable to questionable, in all likelihood, there's a good chance you're not going to play. Those props are still up there on the board. Brooke Lopez over at No House Advantage, Drew Holiday. I would say there's some good over-unders to take advantage of right now.
Yeah, I just slammed him over here. It's pretty much cut and dry, exactly what you said. They have Brooke Lopez available. They have Drew Holiday available. Grayson Allen at 11.5. That's starting to get a little bit baseline there where it's like, do I really want to tango with it? But anything under in terms of points for them that you can find anywhere, specifically on No House Advantage, smash it right now.
They're still there. I'll tell you too. Like I tweeted this morning that I had one, and Drew, it was a 3-leg or a 3-prop card lineup, whatever you want to call them, right? It's all the same. I had Holiday over 2.5 threes. So I didn't take the under on 2.5 threes right now. I took the under on points because he can, I can still get there.
You can hit both.
Yeah, of course. Like I'd like to not be in a situation where I lock that in, but when you got a player that's doubtful, it's almost always that they don't play. So what are you going to do? Anyway, how you feeling, man?
He's playing now. That's for sure. That's the way I feel about it now, but otherwise doing well. Good to be on a show talking No House Advantage with you again. Nice of them to bring the A team in today. It was about time we got called up and got the opportunity to do this half hour.
You're damn right, dude. I've been getting into No House Advantage lately too. I've been getting in there lately, throwing the stuff out there on Twitter. I know you have as well. At Laffy_D, LOUGHY_D, at Eric Lindquist. Now that he's back. No longer banned off Twitter.
Oh, I see what you were talking about. Yeah.
No, I'm saying you're. Oh no. You thought your stream froze?
No, I'm just saying that. Elon Musk, man, he really had it out for me for a hot second. I don't know what I did, but maybe needed to buy a Tesla with my last car. But otherwise, I don't know. Just don't say that certain players are nuking certain slates because the
funny stuff.
Twitter algorithm doesn't like it.
Funny stuff. They thought you were talking about like the Ukraine-Russia situation, World War III, China, all that good stuff. But hey,
North Korea just hanging out.
Yeah. We're happy to have you guys with
Rodman.
us. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, go ahead. Do so. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. All that stuff helps us greatly. We're going to go straight versus the house today. All right. We're going to go straight versus the house. There's some really good stuff out there that I like a lot. Like I said, we'll throw cards out there on Twitter as well throughout the day. We can sweat them together. If you want to tail fade, whatever it is you feel comfortable with, we got you. Also, all the tools, all of our tools. If you're just somehow finding this show, stumbling upon it, all of our tools for No House Advantage, whether it's versus the house, pick 'em, all the optimal lineups over at Stokastic.com under the NBA dropdown, they're all free. And if you haven't signed up yet to No House Advantage, get your $100 first match deposit bonus. Link is in the description. Mike can throw it in the chat. Very simple. You deposit $100, your account's going to say 200. You deposit $50, your account's going to say 100, right? Like legitimate 100% deposit bonus up to $100. If you have the 100, take advantage of all $100. All right. So I'm looking to keep it rolling, man. I went 4-player lineup yesterday. We 11x'd. Of course, we had the John Morant free square, which was beautiful. But if you had to pick one out of the gate today, and we don't have to you don't always have to go 21x, guys. You don't always have to play 5 if you don't like it, okay? Like, you don't have to do that. If there was one, though, if we were to start a card off here, and let's do that, Mike, let's build a card out. Maybe we can build a couple if we have time. What would because I have a top prop, but tell me what your top prop is right now at No House Advantage.
Still got to be Drew Holiday if that's still on the board. I'll take less on points. I'll take less on assists. Either one of them is pretty good to me, but 21.5 points for Drew Holiday. You're being honest. We're talking about massive usage, massive opportunity for him coming right back from this wrist issue. If it's not going to be a big deal, I got to think, I mean, it's not a lower body injury. I just expect full minutes for Giannis coming back. So Drew Holiday averages 19.4 minutes per game, 19.4 points per game. As it is, it's a tough Miami spot. Miami, they've been notoriously bad on offense this season, but defensively still 4th in adjusted defensive rating at 111.7 points per 48 minutes. So I really, really like the under on that.
I do too. Let's see if it's still up. Let's see if it's still on the board. Because if it is, I mean, there's no reason.
It is.
It's still there.
Go.
Hit that. Hit that. I'll give you another one to put in with it. I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this one, but I do like it, and our tools like it as well. I like Anthony Edwards over 5.5 rebounds today. A couple of things to consider here. One, he averages right around 6 rebounds per game on the season. So you're getting, no crazy number here. But if you look at this matchup tonight, this is what really stands out to me. Okay. You're going up against the Charlotte team that plays at an elevated pace. This game has a total that's sitting north of 240 right now. Also, Charlotte, one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. They're allowing the second most opponent rebounds in basketball as well. So all in all, you've got a super fast-paced matchup, not exactly the most potent Charlotte offense all the way around, fast-paced game, and a team that doesn't rebound well. I mean, you look at the center position for the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, yeah, you have some guys like from a fantasy standpoint when we talk DFS that are, good enough like per minute guys, but whether it's Williams or Richards, I'm not particularly worried here. I think there's a good opportunity for Edwards to bounce back and have a really nice rebounding game in a super fast-paced spot tonight.
Yeah, I do. Lindy's Leans, Lakes, and Locks the evening before every single NBA slate, Monday through Friday. You can check that out on the Odd Shopper channel as well. But one of my favorite things was just firing correlated props in this game. And I think that this is a really good spot over at No House Advantage to go do that. Mike Conley, I'm going to pair it with it. 11.5 points. Kyle Anderson, 11.5 points. Correlate some props so that everything, when this game shoots out, which it's going to happen a lot against Charlotte, having an opportunity for just more possessions, more things happening throughout the entire basketball game, put it all together on the same card. 6.4% of NBA games throughout the last 2 years have gone to overtime as well. So when you start thinking about a 21x payout structure, if a game goes to overtime, it is so hard to imagine that your starting unit, barring foul trouble, doesn't all come along for the ride. So considering you get 5 for 5, 21x, the best payout structure in the entire industry, I'm going to throw Kyle Anderson or Mike Conley together, whichever one you prefer.
Let me ask you this, then. What do you think about, say, Mike Conley? Oh, we don't have they don't have Mike Conley assists up. I was going to say like a true correlated play in the sense that, like, I see what you're saying. Definitely correlated if the game goes over, but it would have been nice to see if we had some assist and then point props that we could tie together. That would have been kind of nice for such a high scoring atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. And also think about this, like Mike Conley, he has the rapport with Rudy Gobert. I mean, I'm a Timberwolves fan. I'm cautiously optimistic at this point in time that maybe we can start really seeing some synergy throughout this starting unit. D'Angelo Russell is a locker room cancer. Now, that becomes mitigated when you play on a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But with the Timberwolves here, I think Mike Conley's just a good change of scenery, kind of calling the shots. So, yeah, if we had assists, that'd be great. But I'm happy to kind of disregard the fact that we didn't see him really score the ball or any usage going his direction. Charlotte matchup makes up for everything. Mike Conley is going to be serviceable there. Fire it all up.
Mike, mute yourself.
Michael.
Do you remember, were you a fan of the Chappelle Show back in the day?
Big time.
All right. Do you remember Mad Real World?
Certain skits. Yep.
All right. Do you remember when Lysol made dudes sit in the corner and watch him hook up with Katie? Right? Katie's got some big ass to hit, right? Do you think that's what LeBron and Anthony Davis are doing to D'Angelo Russell now? Just like sit quietly in a corner and don't talk.
Yep. A lot of that, a lot of game blouses, a lot of, I don't know, what are the other Chappelle Show analogies that we can string from? But no, that's perfect. That just shut up. Just go sit in the corner. Also, just stand on the perimeter and shoot threes. That's the one thing he's good at. He doesn't have to create for anybody anymore. I think the Lakers got better. I think the Timberwolves got better.
I'm looking at a few other spots here too. What with Cleveland today, I want to take a look at the front court, right? And I want to give people, an opportunity to throw out as much as they to get as many of like a variety, big a variety as you want. Like we're going to make a card. If you want to run that with us and tail us, let's do it. We'll sweat it together. But if you want some alternatives in there, let's go. Like yesterday, I tweeted one out and I had Harden over 2.5 threes. It moved to 3. So some people took the other ones and changed that. It still would have hit anyway. Actually, 2 of them hit in the first half. So I'm bound to not do well today. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You only need if you hit one 4X card once a week, you're profitable.
The only thing that sucks was they limited it to $15 because of the free square. Yeah. But true. Still, you're right. You're still profitable. Yeah.
Again, they gave you a freebie, so that's never a thing to complain about.
Exactly. If you're doing the free square, do it every time. What do you make though of this Cleveland front court today? I mean, you have Clint Capella, but it's outside of Capella for Atlanta. John Collins is sidelined. They don't really have any other significant bigs to occupy this front court going up against the likes of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot. Cleveland's playing on a back-to-back, so keep that in mind. Fatigue, things of that nature. That's why you're seeing Atlanta as a favorite. I think if you're playing this game not on a back-to-back, Cleveland might be a point favorite or something. It's not drastic by any means, but just kind of looking without John Collins there, that you think there'd be extra opportunity. But which prop are you looking at specifically at targeting there?
So Jared Allen over rebounds. We have it with a 50.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, me too. We have it a 59% win rate. And of course, you guys, listen, the No House Advantage pick'em props are exponentially softer than the versus the house. And for good reason, right? And one of them you're playing against the field. Each one gets you a certain allotment of points. In this case, you're playing against the house, right? So you need these are going to be sharper plays. That's why we got to go through all this. And that's why we figured, well, let's pivot up, do a little bit of versus the house, because I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. If you're playing pick'em, you go to our projections, our free projections, sort by under odds, then sort by over odds, and take the 80, 75, 95 percenters, right? Like, I don't think there's much strategy there, Eric.
No, not at all. And the other part of that too is that props don't change throughout the day. So when news does affect something, it changes over on the versus the house. It won't change when you're playing the other spot. So yeah, our projections will do a phenomenal job of just being able to go in, copy, paste, play the best lineups in that, and then fire it up here. But in versus the house, it will account for news as things change. But although we could still get Drew Holiday under 21.5 points. So riddle me that.
Man, they're slow to react on certain things too. That's where you got to pounce.
I like it.
100%. I mean, that's where you have to pounce.
This is the best site you could possibly be at. It's been down at other places for quite a while. They are just encouraging you to be able to have some props that are going to be to your benefit right now, whether it's Drew Holiday, 21.5 points, or the 7.5 assists, even Grayson Allen, 11.5. I'm starting to come around to it. I just added that to another card here as well. Brook Lopez, 13.5. I mean, that is just crazy, crazy high too. All of them look really, really good over at No House Advantage still.
Yeah. Listen, there's free squares. Then there's this. Seriously. Like there's free squares. And then there's Giannis Antetokounmpo now being questionable with the potential of playing.
But there's also other things factored in too. Bobby Portis returns today. Bobby Portis hasn't played since 1984. Like it's been a while. It's been exactly a month. He hasn't played since January 23rd. That's another guy to get into the rotation. Jay Crowder makes his debut, and it's a Miami match, and you're getting 21.5 points. It is by far the best prop you could play on anything today.
I agree. I don't mind this Jared Allen over 10.5 rebounds, though. Hawks, bottom
Love it.
5 in opponent rebounding already. You lose John Collins. They have a big front court in Cleveland. Like you mentioned, yes, second of a back-to-back, sure. I mean, that's why my top prop going into this morning was SGA under 31.5 points, played 41 minutes last night on the road, has to travel again today on the road, but now he's questionable, and they pulled it. So I hope he plays because I have it locked in, but I think it's a good possibility that he won't. But yeah, man, like these guys coming off a tough loss to Denver, traveling to Atlanta. I get all of that. I still think the rebounds are going to be pretty plentiful going up against Atlanta tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, Evan Mobley did all the hard work yesterday in a losing effort it was, but I'm with you. I think Jared Allen really stands out going up against Capella, Kongwu in the end interior. No John Collins is going to be out there, so you're going to get like an undersized 4, probably Sadiq Bey going to be playing some extra minutes there as well. The acquisition from Detroit. Lots of opportunities where you could think Jared Allen could smash.
Also, big pace up spot for the slowest team in the league going up against Atlanta. What do you think about Evan Mobley, though, going up against a clear undersized 4 today? He has 17.5 point prop is what it is right now.
Yeah, I watched a lot of that game yesterday. He looked fantastic. He was basically the Cleveland offense through and through against Denver. Jokic did Jokic things, so that was all she wrote there. But I'm with you. I think that one also looks nice. I just talked about correlated props in the last game. Why wouldn't we possibly look at having just more possessions than normal? You alluded to it. Cleveland, slowest pace in the league, 95.5 possessions per 48 minutes. You go to Atlanta, they are 7th, 101.2 possessions per 48 minutes. So it's definitely a pace-up spot. More possessions equals more opportunity for things to be accumulated. Fire it up.
All right. So we got, Mike, can you put that back up? I want to see what this card looks like. Because we've talked about a lot here. Let's see, where are we at? So we got
Drew.
We got Edwards.
Let's see what's Jared Allen, Mobley. Okay. We got one more. We got room for one more.
You want to do a 21Xer here?
Yeah, I'm here to get, I was going to say, I came to get down. So jump around.
All right. Well, then, with that in mind,
you don't know what to do with me sometimes.
No,
okay.
No,
it's been a while.
That's just where are we going next, Eric?
Just come for the ride. Away. Come for the ride. All right. My last one, and this is just kind of a feeling that I have. I think Brooklyn got better at basketball with all of these trades, and it sounds counterintuitive. James Harden used to play there, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. This team had a crazy good record compared to what you would expect for how much turmoil they had going through that locker room this entire season. They're 34-24. I have no idea why they were dogs to Chicago at any point in time here. And Spencer Dinwiddie, he's back in a familiar territory for him. He thrived in Brooklyn, specifically towards the tail end of his tenure there. They have so many wings there. They do not have a lot of guards. It is basically him and Cam Thomas out there. Spencer Dinwiddie is going to play a boatload of minutes for this basketball team. 33, 36 here. Give me pretty much positive anything that he has going, specifically rebounds. That's projecting out with a 62% win percentage in our tools today. So I feel pretty darn good about that being one of the best plays over at No House Advantage as well.
I like that. You know, I keep thinking that the assist totals for Dinwiddie have to increase. And it's speaking exactly to the point that you just made. They don't have a ton of guards, but more importantly, they don't have a lot of ball handling guards, right? Like playmaking, floor general, bring it up the court. You would really think that Spencer Dinwiddie would harness all of that, especially now that Ben Simmons, like who knows if this guy's even going to play. So, yeah. Right? Like you would think that you would begin to see more of that from Spencer Dinwiddie. Also, he's averaging 10.5 potential assists per game since he's come to Brooklyn. I feel like if you got the 35, 36 minutes from him, I know that the assist totals haven't looked stellar, but this is not a difficult matchup, number one, against this Chicago team. I think you would agree with that.
Yep.
I kind of like the over on assists for Dinwiddie too.
I like that thinking as well. You're definitely not going to have Cam Thomas out there creating for anybody.
No.
The guy is a black hole beyond a black hole, be inside of a black hole.
So
You've
wait, who
got
is your
Cam.
creator? Who are your creators behind Dinwiddie then, especially if Simmons is out?
Oh, it's still Mikal Bridges. I think Mikal Bridges, when you talk about a new environment, he was playing alongside Chris Paul and Devin Booker. He did not play with the ball in his hands at all. We saw what he's capable of when he had the ball in his hands. If you watch that Miami game, he was just absolutely in the pick and roll every single time down the floor. It was him and Dinwiddie in a lot of spots, but it was Mikal Bridges doing a lot of the ball handling. Dinwiddie kind of sat on the sidelines for that one and got it going. I think it might be a little bit of a hot hand approach between the two, but you look at Mikal Bridges, he's averaging 3.6 assists per game, but nobody's going to average a lot of assists when you have Chris Paul and Devin Booker on the floor playing with you. So completely different environment. We saw him get 5 assists in that 36-minute festivities against Miami, another team that's notoriously slow in terms of pace. So it's hard to get a gauge for exactly the way this is going to look, but I do think Bridges is probably going to be the other guy who's kind of asked to create a little bit for this team, but that should further the case where Spencer Dinwiddie, somebody who's like an isolation guard one-on-one quite a bit too. Definitely bolsters the case for them asking him to distribute as well.
And if we get word that Simmons is out, do you think if Simmons is active, do you think he gets another 20 minutes?
I think he's probably tapped into high teens no matter what. I think he's going to kind of be playing that bench role. He also could play multiple positions. He's listed at point guard at some spots, but like you're a Philly fan. You understand that he can play all over the floor. He could play 5 for this team if need be, even though they went with Day'Ron Sharpe behind Claxton. But I feel as though Simmons, he's going to be your primary backup ball handler in a lot of these spots. He will come out and create because he can't create for himself. But yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie's going to be playing the primary role there. He can also play alongside Simmons. They're going to share the floor a little bit. They did last game for 6 minutes. So feel pretty good about Dinwiddie. I like pretty much everything him and Brooklyn in this spot.
So do I. There are some interesting, and I like your thinking here too. Like it's not just one guy. There's definitely, and it's not just one prop from one guy either. If you're building out different cards, we can look at this. And you can attack it from a team perspective. If you're talking correlation, Minnesota being one of those teams, I'm just looking at the tool right now. Are there any other spots? And it's like, you have Holiday unders, assuming they're still up. I'm not checking every 2 minutes. Like eventually they have to pull them, right?
Yeah, at some point it's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. It's beautiful.
Right, exactly. Eventually these have to be pulled. Rudy Gobert over points we have with a 60% win rate. That's kind of interesting. But again, it goes back to what you were referring to as far as game environment goes. I think it thins out a little bit after that. I'm not sure once I get down here that there's anything I look at and go, man, I absolutely love this.
Yeah, I mean, we were able to react to news pretty quickly there. So you got it in good with the Milwaukee situation, both the opportunity, the cluster F that you have going there with how many bodies Milwaukee could have compared to what they have had previously. So nothing can beat what we just got with that. But there are also just some like thinner plays down here. The last one I'll throw out, I think he's probably one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He's terrible defensively, but who cares? Jalen Brunson, I am just in love with what he's done with the Knicks. What an acquisition. And I know people are sad in New York that they didn't get Donovan Mitchell. I don't think Donovan Mitchell would have been as good of a fit for this basketball team as what Brunson is. 5.5 assists against Washington. He can create for himself. He can create for others. He is just an offensive stud. And you look at 5.5 assists being kind of the baseline for it. I get it. It's only a game carrying a 224 total, but all things considered, Jalen Brunson still averaging north of 6 assists a game. So when we talk about, just getting to that 6 number, or if he hits his baseline number there, you come down 0.2 from it, you're sitting in a really good spot as another addition to the card.
Love it. I got one more too. And I'm actually surprised that it's weird that I'm just seeing this now because I really like it. I like Kawhi Leonard over 1.5 threes today.
Me too. Minus 125 around the industry. So I know it's a positive play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a couple things that stand out here. One, listen, and I know you do the same thing. You always want to look at game environment. Like you always want to look at what's the pace of this game? Is it an advantageous pace up spot? Now that doesn't always mean you bet an over or an under. Like, you know what I mean? it doesn't mean that. It doesn't dictate it like, oh, fast pace, take all the overs, but it can help. 238 total though. Clippers have one of the higher implied totals on the entire slate right now. Let's see, let's see where their implied total is.
I will find 123.
123. 123.
That's second best behind Minnesota.
Yeah, and they're at like 123.5, 124. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good spot for Kawhi, and he's going to play enough minutes, 238 total against the Sacramento team that is so conducive to overs. They rank bottom 10 in defensive rating this season. And while Kawhi, sure, shot 0 for 5 from deep from long range last game, 7 for 9 before that. And then you look at just some of these fast-paced, high-scoring environments, he's getting off 6-7 3-point attempts in these games. Going up against the Sacramento Kings, we have it at a 60% win rate. One of our top like 5 or 6 bets here. Give me that all day long.
You are missing one big key to why I love that prop so much. Think about it for 1 second. Who's starting alongside Kawhi Leonard today?
Oh, and by the way, Sacramento bottom 5 in 3-point attempts or 3-point percentage allowed. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Russell Westbrook is going to be starting for the Los Angeles Clippers today. If he plays a lot of minutes, we're talking about a guy with a pretty hefty assist rate, averages 7.5 this season with the Lakers and pretty limited minutes over there. Maybe they get extended, but he was playing alongside Reggie Jackson, who had a basement assist rate, 3.5 assists per game here this season. Terrence Mann, who just isn't somebody who goes out and creates for other people. I think Russell Westbrook, if they want to acclimate him to this team immediately, again, Terrence Mann was playing point guard for this team, who averages right around 2 per game. You are going to see assist opportunities for Russell Westbrook. That's just in his DNA. Drive, kick, shoot. Kawhi Leonard, love it.
We got about 2 minutes to go here. I think we basically built out 2 nice cards right here.
That was beautiful. I'm going to be firing a bunch of these now. I'm going to post them on Twitter, and maybe I'll do a giveaway. Might do a giveaway. It's Friday. I'm feeling nice. What
are you going to give away?
I don't know. Maybe just split it half seas with somebody, or give somebody $100 for free on it just for retweeting it.
Ooh.
How about that?
All right. Yeah. We'll come up with something. I'll go in on it with you, whatever you want to do.
Let's do it. The Lofty and Lindy card. Lindy and Lofty card.
I like it.
I'll let you have you've been here longer. Seniority. Lofty and Lindy. There it is.
Call it what you want, man. Doesn't matter to me as long as we get it out there. Pharaoh said, didn't know Eric's been on these no house streets. Is this your first no house advantage show?
Second one. I did one last week. I filled in, and then this week they just, they decided that, I might know what I'm doing sometimes. So it was nice to talk a little bit of the product with the people.
They're actually fun shows. I actually enjoyed doing these shows because I like talking.
It was the fastest half hour of all time.
It's not long enough, but player props are just flat out fun. They always have been. I was doing the player prop betting video on ODDSHOPPER last year. It's one of my favorite pieces to do. But yeah, guys, $100 first match deposit bonus when you click the link. If you put 100 in, you're getting 100. Your account's going to say 200. So you've got literally 100% what you deposited going in to play with. And that's what you should do. Especially if you hit, like Eric said, you hit one of these 4 or 5 Xers or 4 or 5 legs for 11 or 21X. You're just smooth sailing you could lose a decent amount and still be well ahead. Let's hope we do it today, man. Favorite prop of the night. If you had to pick one, what's your favorite spot of the entire night?
No house advantage, no doubt about it. Drew Holiday under 21.
Let's assume people watch us a little later and it's gone.
I will go Kyle Anderson, Anthony Edwards over 5.5 rebounds. I'm gonna tail you on that one. Actually, Spencer Dinwiddie, that's my dude. Over 3.5 rebounds for him.
I like the Dinwiddie one a lot. Edwards was going to be mine. The more I look at it, though, the more I like that Kawhi Leonard over 1.5 threes as well.
Yeah, that's going to be on the card.
Hey, appreciate you guys hanging out. Deeper dive coming up later. DFS. Live before lock coming up after that from 5 all the way up to 7, probably through 7 to 7:30, as is typically the case. Let's see. Are we? Yep. 7:30. Oh, and it's sponsored by No House Advantage. So we'll see you over there. Good luck tonight, guys. Follow Eric at Eric Lindquist on Twitter, me at Lafayette_D. Shout out to Mike for producing. And hey, tell your friends about the channel, No House Advantage. We'll have some fun doing this every single day. Peace.